Alright everyone, so in this video, this is going to be my favorite watch faces and some things that I like about the Pixel Watch first generation and some things that I feel Google can fix in regards to the software. And we're going to do this a little bit differently here today. So I'm going to take you guys and gals through all the important aspects of the application, and I'm going to also show you guys my favorite watch faces and let y'all see firsthand how I have everything set up. And I'll put up some really nice B-roll close-ups of the watch itself and the current band that I am using. I kind of did a kind of soft application overview for the unboxing and first impressions, and I want to go a little bit more in depth on that in this favorite watch faces and recommendation and fixes video. So let's get started. So I've been using this watch for a little bit over a week now, and I think I've pretty much gathered everything in terms of what I like about the watch and the applications and what I don't like about it. But I'm going to have to do a little bit more testing in regards to the overall battery life and the overall durability. Alright, so more videos will be coming soon. Alright, and I do have some of my favorite watch bands that I'm going to do video coverage on as well. Those haven't quite arrived yet, but let's get into it. Everything that I talk about and feature in today's video will be linked up down below in the video description as well. And if you do decide to make your purchases using those affiliate links located down below in the video description, I do get a small percentage of commission that I do put back into the channel, and that's at no additional cost to you guys and gals. Alright, today's video was recorded using all of the cameras on the Google Pixel 6a in 1080p at 30 fps. Let's get started. So let's do a real quick general application overview. Let's start with the Pixel Watch application, and basically this is your main home screen. I touched on this again in other videos, but I wanted to give y'all a deep dive look. So essentially up at the top here on the top left, you can see your device's connection. So you can see here, I can add other devices, I can remove other devices, so on and so forth from here. That's the top left icon. Alright, across the top, you have your label for whatever Pixel Watch you have connected. And then on the right hand side, you have your Google accounts. Alright, now you can add Google accounts, you can take away Google accounts, you can do all the good things there. Then in the middle, you have pretty much a main overview of the current watch face that you're using. You had your connected status just below that on the left, and you have your battery percentage and your charging indicator below that on the right. Then below that in the center, you have your sync status. So you can see this one synced to the Pixel application and the Fitbit application 4 minutes ago. Then you have your watch faces and your tiles. Now, if we tap on watch faces, you can see all of the watch faces I have installed. And let's go through my configuration. So this is the first one, and it's called Index. And if I tap on it, if I tap the left, I can use it and it will load up to my Pixel Watch. If I tap the right, I can edit it and it will load up and give me the edits. So you can see all the edits I have here and the color that I'm using. Now, I've said this before, but for all my new people, I am a utilitarian slash functionalist, okay? I pretty much want things to be a good companion to my daily lifestyle. So when I'm using something, I want to set it up and have it just work and either enhance my life in ways. So like for my smartwatches, I wanted to track my steps, track my sleep, give me my notifications, and give me the ability to dictate to my smartwatch and control my other devices like my smart lights, my studio lights, or the lights throughout my home, or give me the ability to dictate my text messages and take my phone calls, along with tracking my sleep and any other health data. That's what I believe smart devices in general should do, especially when we talk about a smartwatch. Okay? It should be a companion to your smartphone or your smart device. But you can see the setup that I have here, and you can also see the colors that you can choose. Alright? And you can see I have it set to bold, I have it set to show the seconds, and then these are your different complications that you can add to the watch face. So I have the date and time, I have the battery percentage, I have my steps, I have the weather, and I have my heart rate. That's for this particular watch face. And you can go in and edit this, and there's a wide variety of different things you can do. So you could add different shortcuts to different applications and different widgets or complications. Okay, but y'all see how I have mine set up. That's watch face number 1. Now if I back out of that, we can go over to watch face number 2, and y'all can see how I have it set up. So again, if I hit edit, you can see the color I have. This is the different color options. Okay, you can see the layout I'm using, and you can see my different complications. Again, if you want to change complications, you tap on it, and you have a wide variety of complications to choose from. Okay? And I've said this before in other videos, one thing that I really love about the Pixel Watch, especially compared to my Apple Watch SE first generation, is I do have always on display functionality. Okay? And I have always on display functionality, but I still am able to get a good 24 to 36 hours of usage with always on display functionality turned on, which is really nice. Okay? So I just wanted to point that out. That is one thing that I feel Google is doing with their budget smartwatch option that is a little bit better than what Apple is doing with their budget smartwatch option. At least the ones that are really considered budget. Okay? So that's watch face and those complications. And if we go over, here's the other watch face. And let me let you guys and gals see how it's set up. So here's the colors. Okay. And you can see how I have it set up and my layout. And the complications. Okay. That's that one. And then here's my last one. This is pretty much what I use when I'm sleeping. And I could add a different layout to get more complications, but sometimes I just wake up and I want to know how much battery is on my watch and what the time is. Sometimes that's all I need. Okay? So that's that last one. But you can see I can change the layouts if I would like, and changing the layouts will give me access to more complications or no complications. But this is the one that I prefer to use here for this last one. So that's my layout in terms of watch faces. Okay. Then we have our tiles, or widgets is what I like to call them. So you can see the widgets I have set up. And I did set up the Fitbit application. We're going to go ahead and walk through that too. But here are all my main widgets or tiles. I call them widgets. Google calls them tiles. Same thing. And another thing that I really like is because you're using Google Assistant, again, I can dictate and control all of my other devices through my smartwatch. I do wish it was using Google Gemini because I pretty much really got used to Google Gemini, and Google Gemini has pretty much learned my speech patterns and it's learned when I talk about certain things what I want to control, whereas Google Assistant, I still have to tell it directly what I wanted to control. So I do wish that my Pixel Watch was more tightly integrated with Google Gemini for better fluidity and control overall. But it is what it is. Maybe the second gen or third generation has a little bit better Google Gemini integration. Or maybe that's something they're working on for future updates. And also, as of the recording of this video, I'll throw it up in post. My Google Watch is running Wear OS 5.0 built on top of Android 14. I'll give a screenshot so y'all can see that. Okay, but that's the tiles I have set up. Now let's go into notifications. And you can see you can do your individual app notifications here. Okay, so you can do that here and you can see what I have turned on. So if there's a particular application that you don't want to have notifications for, that's how you do that. And what's really nice here with my AccuBattery widget and application, it will buzz my watch and I'll get an audible tone when the charge level for my smartphone has been reached. So that's really, really cool. So I'll get an audible prompt and my phone will vibrate, but I'll get an audible prompt on my watch letting me know when the battery percentage for charging is reached thanks to the AccuBattery notification. Really, really cool feature there. Okay, and you can see I'll have my notifications set up. Okay, and you can go in and dial this up to your liking. Then you got your Google services and accounts. I'm not going to click on that one. Then we have Fitbit. So you can sync your Fitbit application from here directly, or you can activate Fitbit Premium, or you can disconnect your watch from Fitbit. Now, you can also sync your Fitbit account just by coming up to the top and swiping down. That will automatically sync. Okay? So those are the two ways that you can sync. Then you have access to your Play Store to get Wear OS specific applications. So really, really nice. If you want different watch faces, you can get it from here. Different available applications, you can get it from here as well. Okay. Good stuff there. Then, if we go into watch preferences, you can see how my preferences are set up. So general, that's what I have. Now I turned off auto launch media controls because it does that a lot, and I would much rather just control that from my phone or launch it myself. I don't want it to launch automatically. And you can see the display and gestures. I have mine maxed out with decent font size, and I do have the raise to wake or tilt to wake enabled and show the battery life. Okay. You can also turn on tap to wake, and you can see you do have always on display control right here as well. You can also control that from the watch, which is really, really nice. Then we got security. So you can set up lock screen security, passcode, pattern, pin on the watch. Or you can set up the watch to be unlocked when you're doing certain things. Okay. Then right here we have wrist preferences. Okay. So I wear it on my right wrist. On my left wrist, I primarily control it with my right hand. So the crown is always on my right side. That's how I do that. And you can set that up from here. Okay, that's preferences. And then you have safety and emergency alerts. System, you can go in here and see different things. So if you want to find your watch, you can also do a find my device. If you want to transfer the watch to a different device, now that's something that I'm sad about. You can't connect up your watch to multiple devices. I have multiple Android devices. It would have been nice to connect up my watch to the multiple Android devices and then just pick what device I want to use that day. And again, this is not cross-platform, so it's not available for iOS. I also use an iPhone as well. It would have been nice if this was cross-platform, but it's not. But you can sync your calendar and events. You can transfer your watch to different devices. You got your about here, so y'all can see the information. All right. And then we have the versions. So you can see the version here. Now, this information is better displayed on the watch itself, but I do like that they have it here. Also, I feel like when you come into about or versions, there should be an option to check for software updates for the watch itself and the application. There is not. You can only really check for software updates from the watch itself. So that's a feature that I feel Google should add. That really should be here, but it's not. Okay. Then you can sync up your OneDrive, and then you can disconnect your watch and factory reset the watch and the application here. Okay. Then if you want to, so we were just in system, you can go out to the Google store directly, get different watch bands and what have you directly from the Google store inside the application. Now, Google watch bands are nice, but I prefer to use Amazon. That's where I bought all of my favorite watch bands from. Okay, again, videos on that coming soon. But if you want to buy directly from Google directly, there is a nice shortcut to the Google store to buy the watch bands directly in the application. Okay. Then you have your tips and support. So all the tutorials you need to get for the watch are here. So navigation, different settings, it's all here, and it will walk you through it. Again, fitting it, all that good stuff right here. Then tips for functionality on the watch, as well as your device, all right here. So I do like how they have it nicely integrated. Then you have your support right here. Okay. And then you can send feedback right here as well. Then we got accessibility. So if you want to dial in other stuff, you can do it from here. That's self-explanatory. Then we got privacy and legal information here. Again, self-explanatory, so I'm not going to dive into that too heavily. But this is the Pixel Watch application. Now, let's talk about the Fitbit application. And again, as I said from my unboxing and first impressions, when you first set this up, it will prompt you to activate Fitbit Premium. You have to X that off when it prompts you, and it does prompt you 2 times. Okay? After that, you can pretty much set up everything in the free version, but if you want extra information, you do need the premium service to get the extra information. So let me show you what you have access to if you stay with the free version. So you can see this is your main home screen, the Today page, and at the top, it will let you know your connected devices and your watch's battery percentage. And then if you tap on it, you can see every device that it's getting information from and funneling it to Fitbit Premium or the Fitbit application. Okay, and it will show you when it's synced with the Fitbit application. You can add more, you can shop for different Fitbit products, and you can unsync things from here. Okay, back out of this. Then in the center here, you have your main information. So sleep tracking, today's information, steps, your fitness zones, your mindfulness days. I haven't set up mindfulness days, but I've set up my step tracking and my fitness zones. And you can edit this by tapping on the pencil. And then you can change the layout exactly how you want it. And once you have it set up exactly how you want it, you hit save, and it's set up exactly how you want it. Okay, and you can see I have sleep tracking, steps, and my heart rate, wellness, cardio, exercise days, Now, I am going through some personal stuff right now, so I haven't been exercising how I regularly would. So this is going to change, and y'all might see more updates in future videos in terms of the exercising. But so far, so good. Okay. Active hours, distance covered, calories burned, heart rate zones, weight. And you could definitely tell I'm not as active because y'all know I generally walk around a lot lighter than this. But it's been a rough couple of weeks. We're going to get back. Don't worry. Okay? Stress level management, water intake. Now, the water intake is there, but I don't put it in. Okay? But you have to manually put in your water intake. I don't got time for all that. I drink about 2 liters of water daily. But I ain't got time to log every time I drink water. Same thing with calories. Okay? I would say I eat about 1,100 calories daily. But I ain't got time to keep putting it in. But you do have everything you need here to fully track your diet so you can get a really nice timeline of your fitness levels and things of that nature as you go. Okay? But that was the main page there, the today page. And again, if you swipe down, it will sync. But it will sync up every time you open the application as well. So you can see it just resynced. And then the next page is your coaching page. So if you want coaching through different exercises, you do it here. Okay. I don't really use this. Then you can set your favorites. Then you could do different exercises, so running, strength training, and then you have access to different exercises inside of those. And then it has the different type layouts, depending on what you click on, different types of equipment, depending on what you want to use, so on and so forth. Intensity levels, so you can really dial in your different exercises. Again, I don't really use this part of the app, but it is nice that it's here. And again, you get access to more stuff when you're using Fitbit Premium, but you don't necessarily have to use Fitbit Premium. Okay? And then this last page here is just some general things. So you can see when I set up my application, again, I can activate Fitbit Premium from here. I can also communicate and add different people in here. So if I want to do some health stuff or health tracking or games with my family, I can add that in here. Family, friends, different groups. Got access to different feeds in here as well. Again, I didn't really set any of this stuff up. I don't really think you should be bugging your family in that way. Now, if it's something that they hit you up and be like, yo, let's try it, that's different. But you shouldn't really be bugging people like, oh, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. Now, if they come to visit and they be like, oh, we want to do something, that's different. But hounding them to do certain things, nah. I pretty much just let people do their own thing, and I do my own thing. The only exception to that being, if you're a person that I would consider to be one of my favorite people, then you get regular daily check-ons and check-ins because you're my favorite people. Okay? That's a very short list. Everybody else, you mind your business, I mind my business. You need help, you know where to find me. If I can help you, you know where to find me. I'm going to do the best I can. But that's just me. Okay? But here's the last general page here. And what's also really nice, and I haven't tried it yet, but I want to, you can actually do a ECG heart test using the smartwatch and check for off rhythms, or I forget what they actually call it, but it's like You can do a check and see if your heart rhythms are regular or irregular. I do want to try this. I just haven't tried it yet, but you can do that here in the application, which is really, really nice. Then you can see whether or not you hit certain goals here, and it has different badges for the different goals when you hit them. And if you want to see more, you can tap on it and it will give you more information, and you can set different goals. So you can set pretty much all the goals you would really want to set. So sleep time, it will remind you when bedtime is. I have this set up on my Apple Watch. Wake time, it will try to wake you up at a certain time that you set. Sleep duration, it will track your sleep duration, let you know if you hit it. Okay, exercise days, all that good stuff here. And again, if you want to set up different goals, so if you want to have a certain weight goal, I might as well put that in right here. I do want my weight goal to be what it used to be, 165. I'm going to set that. And you can set it just like that. Okay. And then if you want to do body fat percentage, okay, I can do that here as well. Alright, good. So we can set that in here. Okay. And okay. And I do want my body fat percentage to be about 20%. I'm a little high right now. I'm running at about 28%, but 20% is good. Okay, so we're going to set that. And there you go. And it will tell you based on what your different goals are, your water intake and things of that nature. So you can see my calories burnt if I want to hit that weight goal. Okay. Different exercise steps I need to hit if I want to hit that weight goal, and body fat percentage. I could set that all up in here. So whatever goals you want to hit, you put them into the Fitbit application and it will do the calculations based on the information you give it and tell you what goals you need to hit to get closer to the goals that you want to be at. Okay? And for me, I actually use this in conjunction with a few other applications. So I actually use the Fitbit application. I use the Google Pixel Watch application. Then I also use the Google Fit application, and then I have a smart scale as well that I also use. All right, and you know what? Ain't no shame in my game. Let me show y'all the smart scale, and then if I go into the smart scale, I have different things in here that the smart scale tracks. Okay. And so you can see my body fat percentage, my BMI, okay? And y'all already saw what I want my body fat percentage to be. So I got to lose about 11% more in body fat. And then based on the information that the smart scale grabs, you get all your information here. Okay? I'll be sure if y'all want to check out the smart scale that I use and this application, I'll link it down below in the video description for y'all to check out. But health is very, very important to me. Okay? I don't plan on living a long time, but I still want to be as healthy as I can be for as long as I'm going to be here. Okay? Life is meant to be enjoyed and lived, but you still want to be as healthy as possible so you can live the best life possible when you're putting in that hard work. So health is very, very important to me. Okay, so those are just some applications that I use in conjunction with my Pixel Watch first generation. I do use similar applications for my Apple Watch SE. Again, I'm very, very health oriented, very goal oriented, and I like to put in the hard work. Okay, and hard work typically means good rewards. Not always, but most of the time. But you gotta put in the work to see the rewards. Alright? I hope you guys and gals enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys and gals found it helpful. If you did, you guys and gals know what to do. I'll catch you guys and gals in the next one. Have a good one, everyone. Stay safe out there. And yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next video. And if you could, please share this video, because I do feel some of the things that I pointed out in this video, Google really does need to fix. So if you enjoyed the video and or you found it helpful, please share the video. Hopefully help it get in front of the right eyes so the changes that I feel need to be done get done. Alright? Alright, have a good one, everyone. Catch you guys and gals on the next one. We're out of here. Peace.